everyone, to Living in Faith. I'm your host, Giovanna Tartarone.
And I am your co-host, Pablo Sanchez. Hi, Gigi.
Hello, Pablo. How are you? Hello, everyone. So, today's show, we're going to be talking about how not just when we speak words, but when we write the words of things that we want in our life, how powerful it is to really create the belief of wanting whatever it is we want in our life. And it really shapes our mind that when we're putting it on paper, there's something special that happens. So, Pablo, let's talk about that because I know you write letters every day. So,
That
let's,
is
yeah.
that is completely correct. Eh, I have gotten into a habit of writing letters to God.
Hmm.
I do them in the evening, and the letter that I write to God is all about being grateful, how grateful I am for the day, and also I talk about the clients that have come to my office, the problems that they have had, and I pray for them. That's what I do when I do that, and I do all of those things intentionally. I
Yes, I love
intentionally
that.
have done this. Now, uh, uh, when you gave me the opportunity to prepare for this show, talk about the power of intention in written words, uh, the one thing that came to my mind is that when you're writing them, the first thing that comes to your mind is really your thoughts. Everything starts with your thoughts. So then I pulled up my good friend right here, As a Man Thinketh.
Oh, beautiful book.
As a Man Thinketh, and I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs. It says, As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I mean, we can stay in here and talk for hours about as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So how does this come into his heart? Everything starts in the brain. It's all about your thoughts. A man is literally what he thinks. His character being the complete sum of all of his thoughts. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? Whatever we're thinking, eventually we're manifesting whatever it is that we want. So then, now, what makes it so you're taking your thinking and now you're putting it into words and you're manifesting this. Now you're doing it with intention.
And
Doing
you're
it with
writing
intention.
it because writing it's almost like claiming it. It's, if you do it correctly, you're claiming it that it's already here. This is
Oh
what
my
you
God.
want.
You know, people might think that we practice this, but we do not. We do not practice this. It's that we're both in the vibrating at the in the same frequency, and it's completely amazing. Wow, completely true, Gigi. Now, I think about a year ago, I did a show on the prophet Habakkuk, and talking about specifically Habakkuk. He's a prophet. Okay, and the prophets have a close connection with God. God tells them what to do, but in a
Mhm.
personal level, it's completely amazing. I mean, I can talk about prophets for a whole show, but we're just going to talk about Habakkuk, chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. It says clearly, it says, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. Clearly right here says when we write with intention, what are we doing? We are articulating our vision, right? Another great guy that did this to me was Reverend Ike, right? Reverend Ike. He says to me, whatever you can envision, really, you can make it come to pass. You can make it a reality. But right there, right now, we're saying you can take that a step closer by writing it down. Writing it down. When you write it down with intention, now you're being specific as to what exactly that you want. What is it that you're asking for? And now is even better. It's even better for myself when I write things down. It kind of really it gets engraved into my brain. It really helps me. It's like I'm repeating it. I'm repeating it. I'm repeating it. So when you're writing with intention, now we're
You
gonna
activate the heart.
yes.
When you're writing it with intention, and it just comes came to me, you're activating your feelings and your emotions, right?
Mm-hmm. No,
to make
and
it.
completely. So now, uh, once again, I'm taking back how you can change your thoughts and change your world, if you will, right? Same thing. And what I'm saying is that when everything starts with your thoughts, we're
Yes.
the ones that control those things, and we have the power to influence how we think. Now, at the same token, what we're doing is we're please remind me, Earl Nightingale, he said it best, whatever we think, we saw,
Yep. Oh,
we,
the
and
yeah, I don't remember
yeah,
I
well,
don't know the exact
whatever we think, what the plant, whatever seed we're sowing, whatever seed it is that we're fertilizing with the constant thought, constant care, with water, so on and so forth, that's eventually what you're going to get. Okay, so the same thing comes with our thoughts. Now, what I'm saying is now, when you're writing it down, you actually have the opportunity to actually write with intention, and now you're really thinking, wait a moment, is this really what I mean? Is this really what I mean? And then you have a second chance to actually write it down. Now, another thing that came to my mind was the four agreements, right? The four agreements, we talk about our words have power. Power. So we have to be careful. We have to be intentional what it is that we're asking for. He has some very clear examples in the four agreements. He says, do not reprimand your kids, because that's what they're gonna be left with. If anything, use words to encourage them, So this, but that everything, now we're talking words. Now the same thing I'm saying. Now you're gonna take those words. You're gonna have to be absolutely clear with what it is that you want. Now you're writing them with intention. What is it that you want? What is that you're asking for? Once again, I can even say this, that this is really like another form of prayer. Another form of prayer, but just solidify and thinking about what it is that you're asking for, right? I'm doing it. I'm praying. Writing my letter to God every night, and I'm asking God. Really, I do not ask for myself. I ask for my clients that come in here. I'm being very intentional for God to help them out. So, being intentional, writing with the purpose as to what it is that I want to do, and once again saying the words that you have a
yeah.
lot of influence. Have a lot of influence, and so by the same way, I'm saying the words that you speak and the words that you write, they're very, very powerful. Write exactly what you desire. Make sure that all of those things are aligned with God. Aligned with God, I'm saying, make sure that they're good. Because you could get into this thing about the law of attraction, right? Whatever you sow, you reap, right? Same thing. Same thing. And you can see it time and time again how it kicks in just like that. So now, it's just the power of influence. Right here, I did a little research for this one, Juji. So we're talking about Proverbs 18:21, which tells us death and life are in the power of the tongue. This divine truth emphasizes how our written words can either build up or tear us down. But everything begins with our thinking. Everything begins with our thinking. So if you start off the morning writing with
Gratitude.
intention,
Yeah.
right? Now, when we're writing with intention, what are we writing about? What are we writing about? What I like to do is talk about the long-term goal or short-term goal that I'm doing, and I often tell people, hey, how many times do you look at your phone? How many times do you look at your phone? Hey, make it a screensaver right there. Put it in there. Write in there what it is that you want. You're looking at it, you're reading, you're repeating it yourself, you're repeating it to yourself. I'm also suggesting take the same thing, put on the bathroom mirror. When you get up in the morning, you're seeing how good looking you are, you're shaving, doing whatever it is that you're doing, you're reminding yourself. Now, why did you put that down? Because that's going to make you happy, right? Yeah, so now automatically you're putting a smile on your face, give yourself a reason to get up and to go to work and do whatever it is that you need to do. You're being intentional. You're being intentional and writing it down and putting it on the mirror. Why? Because sometimes it's very hard to get out of bed, right? Sometimes you don't want to, and then but when you get up and you see in the mirror that those words, the intention as to what it is that you want to accomplish. For some reason, it's like that caffeine kicks in, if you will.
Right. I had a friend the other day. We did a show together, and she says she put on her mirror with lipstick. Right. So she sees it on the mirror. I am enough. Right. Just a statement to acknowledge herself. And you can write anything on the mirror, right? I love you, or today's my day. Whatever you can do to set the intention, like you're saying, to call in whatever it is that you want. The Earl Nightingale quote was, whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. Many people don't have goals. They're not taught to have goals. But the truth of the matter is, the goal is like your GPS. Where you going in life? What do you want to accomplish in life? So putting what you want on paper, and there's a key secret here that for manifesting what you want is to already believe that God has granted you this wish. And it's not only a wish, it's what you want, it's your desire, and it's already here. You just have to get into the gratitude, the feeling of it. Am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely. That is the key. Gratitude. It is also, as you say, assume that you have already received it. By assuming that you have already received it, you're getting into gratitude. You're thanking God for everything. That's really it. Another thing, by writing it down, what you're doing is let's think about this. This is very powerful, right? The Bible, it is all written down. Isn't that I mean, that's the power of writing things with intention. You can go back in there, you can read it now. If whenever my time comes, my daughters are gonna probably go in there and they're gonna see. Let's look at Daddy's writings. Look at all the letters that he wrote to God. Look at this, right? So you're leaving a legacy for somebody else to know
Beautiful.
what it is that you have done. And eventually, writing it down, you might say, you know what? This is all worth sharing. I'm gonna call someone right here and do an ebook right away, right? Do an ebook automatically, boom, automatically. Now you're an author, right? Just like that. So, I mean, really, is this really a lot of the power of intention in writing? Absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. It opened up a lot of the doors for you, and but once again, being intentional with being in the writing it on with purpose, the power of the influence in writing, manifesting God's promises. You have to believe. You have to believe that whatever it is that has come to your mind has already been created and it's already yours. That's exactly what you were saying, Gigi. And what is the best way to know that to make this happen is to have faith, to know that this has already happened and go straight into gratitude, thanking God because you have already received it. It is a one way you can definitely show God that, hey, for me this is impossible, but for you everything is possible. So it's come on, big guy, show me what you can do.
I can see you having those conversations for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm gonna be like this, Gigi. I'm gonna be like this. What? Manifest,
Let me see.
manifest.
I hope you're much
and
nicer
and
than
you
that.
and you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. It's really the key. So in the past we have spoken about we have discussed about the power of our thoughts. So now we're really taking it to another level, and we're saying, write your thoughts with intention. Write them down.
Yeah.
Think about what exactly it is that you want. Make it like a prayer. Make it like a prayer. Ask God for whatever it is that you want, and let's not forget, Let's not forget. Uh, there's no such thing. God listens to prayers. God listens to prayers. I like this thing. Is you see a lot of people with the clothing with Gap, right? Gap, and I always approach someone. Says, "You know what Gap means? Do you know what Gap means?" I'm like, "No, I never thought about it." Says God answers prayers. God answers prayers. And, and then they say, oh my God, that's right. God answers prayers.
I
Now,
love it. I
the thing is that
absolutely love it.
if you do not ask, you're not gonna get. And amazing how many people have died and they never claim any of the gifts that God has for them.
How
And the thing,
beautiful.
and what happens here is that it, sometimes we think that we're not worthy, that we have failed so many times, and I cannot approach Him. And really, because of that, we never ask. But I'm here to tell you that God has already forgiven you. All you need to do is go up
Absolutely.
there and ask God for forgiveness. Once you do that, the doors are wide open for you, and you can ask for anything. You got to know that if the little thought comes into your mind, it has already been created and it's already yours. It is for you to claim. It is for you to claim.
Absolutely. And writing it down, you can definitely make it happen faster for sure. So let's switch over to our friends and share what we just said in Spanish.
Eh, estamos hablando sobre el poder de la intención en la escritura. Previamente nosotros hemos hablado de nuestros pensamientos, cómo nuestros pensamientos se vuelven nuestra realidad. Hablando de nuestros pensamientos son una semilla. Y la semilla, cómo empieza todo. Y lo que nosotros, como cuando le estamos alimentando a esa semilla, seguimos pensando en lo mismo, lo que sea que estamos pensando, eso tiene el poder de crecer. Y definitivamente con fe todo es completamente posible. Entonces aquí eh, estamos hablando que empezamos todo empieza con un pensamiento y ahora estamos hablando de el poder de escribir con intención lo que nosotros deseamos, si es lo que usted quiere aquí. Y me hizo acuerdo hace un año, yo hice un episodio sobre el profeta Habacuc. El profeta Habacuc nos recuerda en capítulo 2, versículo 2 y 3, que dice: escribe la visión, declara en tablas para que corra quien la lea. Cuando escribimos con intención, expresamos nuestro propósito con claridad. Para mí, cuando yo me pongo a escribir, de veras como que estoy repasando lo que voy a decir y tengo o sea, estoy escribiendo, pero uno no coge y escribe así nada más. Uno está cogiendo los pensamientos que uno tiene y está escribiendo esos pensamientos. O sea, otra vez, vamos allá. Todo empieza con nuestros pensamientos. Estamos escribiendo nuestros pensamientos, pero ahora estamos siendo intencionales en qué es lo que nosotros escribimos. ¿Okay? Entonces, si cogemos eso de la intención, ahora vamos a coger los pensamientos, vamos a soltarles en palabras. En el libro Los Cuatro Acuerdos, se nos dice que el poder de nuestras palabras, lo que nosotros decimos, a veces también se ha escuchado que la palabra es como una bala. Uno le suelta la bala, trata de cogerla para atrás. Imposible. Si usted dice una mala palabra a alguien, aunque sea intencional o no intencional, pero le soltó nada más, trate de decir perdón. Puede decir perdón, pero ya la persona fue herida. es muy dificultoso. Entonces, tenemos que pensar muy bien antes de soltar nuestras palabras. Tenemos que ser intencionales, tenemos que decir exactamente lo que deseamos. Gente le dice la ley de la atracción. Puede ser, pero definitivamente lo que uno piensa y lo que uno mantiene, eso tiene el poder de hacerse su realidad. Y eso es lo que queremos aquí cuidar, y queremos aquí ser intencionales en todo lo que nosotros escribimos. ¿Okay? Aquí, en Proverbios 18:21 nos dice, la muerte y la vida están en el poder de la lengua. Esta verdad divina enfatiza cómo nuestras palabras escritas pueden edificar o destruir. ¿Okay? Yo, cuando viene algo así, yo pienso en mis hijas y digo, de veras, yo nunca los he reprendido. Cualquier cosa que ha sucedido, yo siempre busco el lado bueno. Y no, nunca. Aquí en el trabajo hay razones para ponerse rabioso, lo que sea, pero yo estoy en otro camino ahora. Yo estoy con Dios. Nada de lo que hagan me molesta. Es más, cualquier cosa que suceda, digo, es mi culpa porque yo no los enseñé bien. Es mi culpa, es mi culpa. Y le hago así. Pero aquí lo que estoy diciendo es que nosotros podemos edificar o podemos destruir. Aquí a los empleados, uno quiere seguir motivándoles a los empleados para que ellos sigan produciendo, hacer lo mejor que se pueda. Si uno viene acá, te dije esto y el otro, no es una buena manera. Porque la mejor manera de ser un buen gerente es de coger el tiempo calmadamente, explicarle a la persona qué es lo que pasó y cuál es la manera correcta de esto. Ahora, yo le digo, aunque esto le hubiera costado a un cliente, le hubiera costado cualquier cosa, dinero, lo que sea, ese problema le puede pasar en el futuro. ¿Y qué usted va a hacer? Va a conseguir otra persona para enseñarle todo esto, y después hay la oportunidad que esa persona también cometa el mismo error. Entonces, la mejor manera de tratar a una persona que comete un error es de darle la oportunidad. Y yo les garantizo que esa persona nunca se va a olvidar la oportunidad que usted le dio, y cuando le dé la oportunidad, ella no va a cometer ese error nunca más. Entonces, tenemos que nuestras palabras son muy poderosas, tenemos que tener cuidado con cualquier cosa que nos suelte. Siempre considera la palabra como una bala. Después de que usted suelta la bala, no lo puede retraer. Gigi, just for you, it's like I'm saying, the words are like bullets. Once you try to get that bullet back. No, you cannot. You will not be able to get that bullet back. You have already hurt someone. So instead of that, just think about everything that you're saying before you move forward. Okay. Ahora, para seguir acá, estoy hablando tenemos que manifestar las promesas de Dios. Manifestar las promesas de Dios. Y aquí otra vez me regreso a los profetas. El profeta Isaías en 55:11 leemos, así será mi palabra que sale de mi boca. No volverá a mí vacía, sino que hará lo que yo quiero. Wow. Eso es lo que yo estaba diciendo hace un ratito. Sus palabras son como una bala. Lo que usted suelte es lo que le va a regresar. Tenemos que tener mucho cuidado con nuestras palabras. Tenemos que decir que eso sí tienen el poder de crear lo que nosotros queramos. Pero aquí, escribiéndole, ahora, escribiendo las palabras, lo que sucede aquí, yo Ya ustedes saben que yo mantengo un diario y el diario mío es cartas a Dios. En mis cartas a Dios yo escribo intencionalmente, escribo sobre mi día. Empiezo con agradecimiento. Le agradezco a Dios por este lindo día que tengo la oportunidad de escribir los eventos del día. Y yo escribo sobre las personas que entraron a mi oficina y oro por ellas. Pido a Dios que por favor les ayude. Es así, una cosa muy, muy bella. Ahora, cuando usted hace esto y lo hace con intención, usted tiene el poder de edificar, el poder de ayudar a una persona y hacer lo mejor que pueda. Pero vamos a seguir con esto la próxima vez. Gigi me está dando la señal que ya se terminó mi tiempo. Okay, my time is up. I told him that.
I understood. So, we're going to take the show to a landing and, final thoughts about how important it is. Put your prayers on paper, you know, write it with intentions and watch the magic happen because it's the faith that we have within us that really answers the prayers. So, final words. You have
Final
one
words.
sentence.
Uh, your words have tremendous power. So if you say anything, let it be let's talk the truth, and the truth is the word of God.
And it shall set you free. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time. Bye bye.
Thank you.